Welcome back, everybody, to the One Stage at a Time podcast, the podcast where we are playing through Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, every single level, doing an episode per level. My name is Aaron Nieson.
I'm Andy Primm.
And we are joined once again by our illustrious friend, Jack Connolly.
Hello. Sorry.
Clutching his invisible shadow goblet.
Welcome, Jack. Thank you for being here, sir.
Yeah, no problem.
We just played through the boss of Vine Valley in the level Bumblebee Rumble.
You boys conquered it.
We did. We conquered it. We did it. We did it. We won.
I know, right?
And you had done so before.
I did so, off screen earlier.
We all defeated the Queen Bee.
Queen Bee. Yeah, that's her name. Queen Bee.
Just Queen Bee?
It's just Queen Bee.
Seems kind of lazy.
It's a little bit lazy.
I honestly expected more punnery from them.
I wanted some silent G's in there.
Right? Like they didn't
Queen Gabee.
Not even Queen Zinger or anything like that?
Nope. Queen Bee.
That's so weird.
Yeah. It's just a B. It's not B-E-E. It's just the letter B.
Queen Bee.
Yeah.
But why?
Who can say?
Why is it just the letter B?
For funsies.
I don't understand. I'm just okay. Yeah.
They're British.
Yeah, that doesn't really explain it though, does it?
It's a B for Britain.
Are the two E's are silent?
Bum, 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 bum.
No, you got me doing it. I didn't want to do that.
Donkey Kong Country.
Kong, 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 Kong.
Kremlings never, never, never will get my bananas. Yeah, so this was Queen Bee. Aaron, what did you think of the boss fight with Queen Bee?
I quite liked it. It was a little step up in difficulty from Master Ganeki.
Yep. Thank you for that.
To Queen Bee. It was a little step up in difficulty, and it introduced a different mechanic from besides just jumping on the enemy, because even Master Ganeki, you had to jump on the tire, then land on him. You had to jump on him.
Right. Yeah.
And then obviously with Super Gennady,
very
Gennady, you had to just jump on him and he would
just laugh like a maniac.
Yeah, because he was concussed, the poor thing.
He had a TBI.
And but this one was cool because you couldn't just jump on Queen Bee. You had to pick up a barrel and you had to hurl it at Queen Bee and you had to time it and you had to dodge, and it was
tricksy.
It was tricksy.
Yeah, you hit her and she goes into that angry mode where she turns red and zings up and down really quick. Mm-hmm. Jack, what did you think of this boss fight?
Queen Bee was terrifying at first. But, once you realize that, you just got to hit her with a barrel and then get out of her way afterwards, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, you got the hang of it.
Yeah. After a couple deaths, but that was more so trial and error, really.
Dude, yeah, that's how it goes.
That's playing video games.
Yeah, but like you guys said, you can't just jump on it. But, you're going to lose a life trying to jump on it. So
I think in your first attempt, you identified that she has like these big cartoony googly eyes. Yes. And you were like, well, that must be a weak spot. And, hurled yourself dramatically at it. Unfortunately, it was not. Contrary to all reason.
I'm going to go punch her in the eyes.
The giant googly eyes were not a vulnerable point.
Nope. So did you try the barrels first? I was out of the room when you were playing. Did you try the barrels first? Or did you try jumping on?
I tried jumping first and then lost Donkey Kong, Diddy Kong, whichever one I had. And then it took me a couple tries to figure out that, like, if you just press whatever button the action thing is, it'll like throw it immediately. But if you hold that button, you can grab the barrel, hold on to it, wait for the bee to come down, charge you like a dumb rhino, and then hit it with the barrel. And then you'll be good to go.
Now I didn't do kamikaze stuff. I hurled. Are you talking about like waiting till it comes down and throwing them, or did you literally ram it with the barrel?
A little bit of A, a little bit of B.
A little bit of B, okay.
Yeah.
I was never bold enough to charge it. I would always threw it from a distance because I didn't know like if there was an intangible couple moments after you hit it, if it would be, and you would you're safe from being hit,
Yeah.
like otherwise, or you just keep going for a second and you die.
Yeah.
So I always chucked it at her.
Yeah, I feel like I found success with that button, so I just kept going back and back to that well.
Just do what works, baby.
Yeah.
I find the easiest way is to be Diddy Kong and just hold the barrel in front of you, because he holds it in front rather than above like DK. And Queen Bee will just run into your barrel like an idiot. And her momentum is arrested, so you're safe. And then she goes into her angry phase, and then you just avoid it and rinse and repeat.
Now, for my method, though, Donkey Kong was the better choice because he throws it from above. He's got a greater distance.
That's right. Yeah. That's correct.
Yeah. So I had found success with Donkey Kong more than Diddy.
Here's a little tidbit.
Although he's still so slow in that angry mode. He's so slow.
When DK gets ready to throw a barrel, he puts it behind him for a second before he throws it. So he'll actually hit whatever's directly behind him. So speedrunners will use that to strike Queen Bee at the earliest possible opportunity.
Interesting.
They'll use the action of him rearing back to hit her, like right as soon as she goes out of her angry phase.
Interesting. I wonder what I'd have to watch it to really like glean how that's beneficial as opposed to just like holding it as Diddy Kong.
I think it has to do with the fact that like he gets more height because he can raise the barrel up higher, so you can hit her before she comes back to like the ground level. Okay. Like while she's still circling around.
Okay. Yeah. Every split second counts with speedrunning.
It's true. You got to save those frames.
Yeah. I watched a speedrun competition of Hollow Knight recently.
Ooh.
Not the whole thing.
Was it a glitchless one, or did they use glitches?
I honestly don't know.
I think because I've seen some in Hollow Knight where they use glitches and it completely breaks the game.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun for me to watch. I'm sure for some people it is, but like they made it so they could like float through the air and just like skip huge sections of the game. Basically not using the mechanics of the game any longer. Using glitches to like fly over.
Well, how long did those speedruns take?
Like an hour.
Okay, because this one they definitely took it took like an hour and a half or something, but it was so close. Like the race was so close, and they played it simultaneously, so they're both playing it. This race was so close; it was down to tenths of seconds.
Wow!
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It was really like I skipped a bunch of it. I didn't have the kind of time. I got closer to the end to see, and they were like right there fighting the Hollow Knight like together. It was crazy.
I love a good relay race or a good head-to-head speedrun race.
Yeah, it was cool to watch.
They've done those Donkey Kong Country.
I bet they have.
And at a GDQ not too long ago, they did a relay race where they played through all 3 Donkey Kong Country games. Oh, man. There were 3 teams, and they would pass off the controller to the next person whenever they finished a game.
Yeah. That's fun.
It was pretty cool.
I'd ask who won, but it would mean nothing to me.
That's probably true.
Congratulations to whoever won that.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Come on the podcast.
So that was a pretty cool one.
Well, what did you think of Queen Bee? We didn't ask you.
Oh yeah, well, thank you for asking me.
So often, as the host with the most, we
shucks.
Go on and talk with everybody else about their opinions, and we can all come. What did you think of Queen Bee, Andy?
I think Queen Bee's like you said, a good step up in difficulty after like Very Naughty and Master Necky. Like Very Naughty is just laughably easy, it's just an intro boss. Master Necky's a little trickier. You got to bounce on the tire, but this boss is definitely a step up. It's like actually a difficult boss. You're gonna die probably your first couple of attempts before you figure out the pattern. After you figure out the pattern, it's not that hard. You can do it pretty easily, but it's a little tricky that first time. So yeah. I like that ramping up in difficulty.
And she changes her pattern a little bit. She changes what direction she goes in, because she's going counterclockwise at first around the screen, I think it is, and then after you hit her 2 or 3 times, she gets really angry and she goes clockwise around the screen. That's a little tricky.
Tricky Bee,
because you're used to like preparing for one end, and it's surprising like in Mario Kart when you get the mirror courses, it's like it's the same course, it's just backwards. It's a totally different ball game.
Yeah, because your muscle memory is all set for the one way,
right?
But then it's the other way.
And it's the same here, except on a much more minor scale, but. Same. I was like, oh no, the other way. What do I do?
Jack, like you've played a fair number of video games. You've defeated some bosses in your career. How would you rate Queen Bee as a boss?
No. Not the most difficult, but definitely satisfying, I think, because like it's so large and intimidating, but it's actually decently easy to beat. Again, though, once you figure it out. So it's kind of rewarding in that way.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's a solid B.
Oh,
Oh man, I didn't even think of, okay, yeah.
there it is, folks.
He did it. He did it.
In the podcast right there.
Good night, everybody. All right. Okay, well, let's do this, guys. Let's kick this off. Favorite favorite enemies, favorite bosses in video games. Do we have favorite bosses in video games?
Whoa, favorite bosses just in general.
Yeah, just in general. If you had like a boss that really sticks out in your mind is like one that was something about it that you really like.
That's such a difficult question. So stuff that's jumping out for me.
It doesn't have to be like your favorite of all time or like what you consider to be the best boss. Just like let's just name a boss we like.
Andross's true form from Star Fox 64.
Oh, big brain.
Only I have the brains to rule, Lilat.
Finally, you reveal your true form.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It was a good one. It was shocking.
It was shocking.
Yeah. Did that happen in the first Star Fox?
No, he's just like a metal face in that one.
Right. He doesn't have a second form at all?
Well, there's two ones you can fight depending on which route you take. One is like the big monkey face, and the other one is like the metal face that spits those metal squares that rotate.
Right. That's the fake boss.
No, that's the real one.
It is?
I think so.
I thought that was the fake one, and then the other one's... we'll have to play it again.
I haven't played
Next
too
season
much
on
of
one
the
stage
original.
at a time.
Yeah, but maybe. Honestly, maybe.
Maybe. Andross's true form in Star Fox 64 is a really good one. Definitely. Jack, do you have any favorite bosses?
I mean, I'm trying to play through the I Am the Knight version of Arkham Origins, and Deathstroke is so friggin' incredibly hard.
Yeah. I didn't play through I Am the Knight version. I was already like, this guy sucks.
Is that like the God mode version?
I assume so, yeah.
Yeah. Or no, New Game Plus and then I Am the Knight. Either way, even on easy mode, it's like the hardest part of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't play it on like the easiest setting, but I played it on like a normal diffdifficulty because I'm hardcore like that. And even then I was like, hardcore. Come on, this sucks. Yeah. It's a good game though. Like it doesn't get the credit it deserves in the Arkham franchise.
I love it.
Yeah, Origins was pretty good. I like the aesthetic. It's a lot more like gothic feel to it.
Yeah,
as opposed to like the very neon-y sort of feel that especially like Arkham City got.
Yeah. Also, like it takes place in winter.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just there's something about it that adds a little extra layer to it.
Something about Batman in snow.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and Gotham in the wintertime. Yeah, no, I like it. I'm with you there.
Yeah.
If we're gonna jump back and go old school, I think Super Mario Brothers 3 Bowser is a pretty good boss fight.
Is he the Super Mario Brothers 3 Bowser? Is he the one who jumps up and slams his butt down?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very intimidating, very cinematic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's like by today's standards, not that complex, but for the time it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because you hadn't seen Bowser the whole game up until that point, and then he comes at you. He's out for blood.
Yeah. And there's a reason that game was featured in The Wizard. The Wizard, yeah. The Wizard is a very different movie.
It's a very different movie.
Yeah, no, that's I've played through using cheating, I suppose, the NES and the save states and stuff. I've finally beat Super Mario Brothers 3. And yeah, that was a fun boss fight, definitely. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. We could go all day on this, honestly.
We could. I was only asking for one.
We haven't even touched like RPGs, like the Final Fantasy franchise.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah.
But Bumblebee Rumble is not one of those. Bumblebee Rumble is a serviceable boss fight, but I don't think it would go down in the annals of anybody's all-time favorite boss fights.
No. I was going to say maybe Beekeepers, but they probably hate it. Give bees a bad name.
Well, speaking of Beekeepers, I thought maybe we could dig a little bit deeper into the Buzzy Boys, or Buzzy Girls, as it were, and visit the lore corner.
Please, let's do it.
For the second time in 2 episodes, we're taking a dive into the lore corner.
Good, I love it.
Hit that drop, Aaron.
Lore corner. I don't remember what we did.
I told you to isolate the audio.
I'll insert here. And go.
All right. Welcome back to the lore corner, folks. So, Queen Bee, she's the queen of all bees. Apparently, she's a lot bigger than your normal bee.
Yes.
In real life, there's a lot of bees that are eusocial, which is to say that they have like a caste system and a quote unquote hive mind. And in those cases, the queen is unique. She's bigger than the normal ones. She has daughters, which are the workers, and sons, which are the drones. The sons, incidentally, are completely useless. All they do is mate with the queen. They don't work. They don't contribute anything productive to the hive. The females are the only ones of any value. They are, and honestly, I would do that. That sounds like a pretty good life to me.
The queen? Yeah, man.
But if the queen dies, the whole colony goes into turmoil. They have to replace the queen very quickly. And if they can't, the whole colony dies out. So our callous murder of Queen Bee here would seem to have dire implications for all of the Buzzy Boys, or Buzzy Girls, actually.
Right. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
Oh, you look like you had a question.
Oh, I was going to say, assuming that no females had been fed that royal jelly already.
That sweet royal jelly.
Sweet royal jelly. And assuming that there is only one queen bee on this island. It's a very big island.
That's true. There could be multiple hives.
It could be.
Well, I have some further lore that I've uncovered.
Oh, good.
Apparently, these bees are not indigenous to the Donkey Kong Islands.
No.
In Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Kong Quest, we see the hive that are the source of the zingers.
Okay.
So zingers are one of the few enemies that appear in both this game and its sequel. And in its sequel, there are several stages visible on the map where you go into a giant beehive. And there's like sticky honey all over the place. They're good stages. And then at the end of the world, which I think the third or fourth world, which is called it's the amusement park one. I'm blanking on the name of it right now. Yeah,
I don't know the name of the level we just played.
Bumblebee Rumble.
Yeah, it's a joke.
Anyway, at the end of the amusement park world, you fight King Zing, who is apparently like the king of the bee colony. Although in real life, there aren't kings of the bee colony.
No.
Like I said, there's just drones and all they do is mate. So maybe that's King Zing's rule. It's very unclear. In any case, you fight and defeat King Zing as well.
Okay.
So you've defeated now both the queen and the king of the zingers.
Okay.
Zingers do not appear in Donkey Kong Country 3. Instead, there's a similar bee-type enemy called the Buzz.
Okay.
And they have like a chainsaw style like buzz going around their abdomen, which doesn't make a lot of biological sense.
No.
They may be part mechanical. It's unclear. But the zingers return. There's kind of a Robotnik in that game.
Is there?
Yeah, because it's Baron K. Rulenstein, and he invents a robot called Chaos, and they have like a big robot factory.
So that's just a blatant ripoff.
Listeners, you might think I'm making this up, but as usual, all the lore I give you on this show is 100% canon and should not be questioned.
Take it from Andy. Don't question it.
But the zingers return in Donkey Kong 64.
I was going to ask because I recall seeing them in Donkey Kong 64. So they are zingers.
They are zingers, yeah.
Okay.
And there's also a robo version of them in one of the levels.
Okay.
But mostly they're just regular zingers.
Okay. Where does that? Oh, darn it. I can't remember the name of the game. That 3D shooter game where you play as a bee in a backyard. It's for the Nintendo 64.
I don't know
it's
about
gonna
this
drive
one.
me crazy.
I'm Mr. Mosquito, but that's not the same thing.
No, it's not Mr. Mosquito. I just looked this up the other. He's got like sunglasses, or it looks like he's got sunglasses on. He's got a gun.
He's got a gun.
He flies around with a gun. It's like a shooter. You're like pew 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 bzz, in a backyard. Look it up real quick. It's gonna
a bee with a gun.
Yeah. It's real. I swear. It looks awful.
Bumble?
What is it?
Buck Bumble?
Probably. That sounds like maybe yes. Does he have a gun? Does he have a Nintendo 64 cartridge?
It does look like a Nintendo 64 game. Jack with the crucial knowledge here.
Does this look about right?
Yeah, that's him. Buck
Okay.
Bumble.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to watch a playthrough of Buck Bumble after this is over.
It's not. It doesn't look like a good.
So is Buck Bumble a man or a woman?
Well, his name's Buck, so I assume that it's a man.
Well, that's just unrealistic.
I mean,
the workers are the one that do all the fighting.
maybe he's an anomaly. He's the exception that proves the rule.
He could be, though. Like there are some bees that aren't eusocial, that are just like solitary.
Yeah,
So that could be the case.
could be. We'll have to play. I'm sure the game will answer that question.
Yeah, I want all the biological accurate information.
I mean, that's what the point of the podcast is: deep dives and games that no one would ever care about.
That's right. Yeah, we're consulting David Attenborough regularly for all these facts.
We should email him.
Once Donkey Kong has killed the queen bee, the entire colony dies out.
Unless King what's his name?
King Zing.
King Zing can find a new mate in time. The Kongo Island will be bereft of these crucial pollinators.
They only have a few short hours to feed the royal jelly to the next queen in waiting.
Well, I was reading that like beehives work that if once they get too big, they feed royal jelly to a female or a larval, a
potential.
larva. And then once that queen is born, like I think it was half the colony goes with that queen to start a new colony.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
And it could have been bad information because it is the internet. But
I know that I read that if a queen dies, they have like a bunch of eggs that they feed the jelly to, and then they all become potential queens, and then they have to fight to the death to see which one becomes like the true queen.
Cool.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. Listen to me now. This is the way of it.
Bees are so interesting. I don't like that they're all dying.
Yeah, that's kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Like
to save the bees.
Bees are pretty cool.
And they are crucial to our ecosystem.
If anything has to die out, why couldn't it be hornets?
Well, they're pollinators too. They're just not good at it.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Well,
they're mean. They're bad tempered. Let's get rid of them.
I've had to get rid of like 3 nests that they keep implanting on my house. I
hate those things so much.
I don't like doing it. I'm like, just go out into a tree somewhere, man, and just stop being on my house where you might sting me and my family.
Right. Yeah, just find a place where you're not going to bother us.
Go and live their lives. Go live your little hornet, mean, angry lives. Just not on my house.
They're just such mean animals.
Yeah.
Jack, what's your stance on hornets versus bees?
Yeah, guys, I don't have one.
You have no opinion on hornets?
I've never really come across hornets, so they seem okay-ish until they set up a nest somewhere, and then yeah. Okay, so I guess I'm kind of down on hornets.
Again, I want hornets to be like, just don't do it on my house. Do your thing. Like they do pollinate. They're not as good as bees at it, but they do. They're not completely useless, but for the most part, they are useless.
We could lose them and then still be okay.
Probably. I don't know.
Bees are tight, though.
Bees are tight.
Jack, do you think bees are tight?
Yes.
All right. It's unanimous.
The bumblebees got their cute little fuzzy butts sticking out of flowers. That's cute.
And then they got those movies with John Cena.
Is he in Bee Movie?
No, but he is in Transformers Bumblebee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was a good movie.
I still haven't watched it.
You haven't watched it? It's good.
Yeah, I missed Bumblebee.
It's the guy who did Kubo.
Yeah, I missed that too.
Also a good movie. Matthew McConaughey plays a giant cockroach man.
I was too busy watching Donkey Kong Country cartoon show from 1994 or 97.
How did that hold up in the year 2019?
It's extremely bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's a kind of a fun watch for 20 minutes, and then you're pretty much done with it. I watched so much of it, I went a little crazy for about a week. I was hearing the theme song in my head,
seeing crystal coconuts wherever you go.
Saying Banana Slamma.
You were saying Banana Slamma a lot for a while.
So that's been your lore corner for today, folks.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a mix of lore corner and I guess real world bee physiology for you.
Yeah, and our concerns for the bee population.
But you might not think about it when you fight this boss, but there's actually some dire implications for the lore of the Donkey Kong franchise.
Donkey Kong, the Kongs are a blight on the island.
They're really a menace.
Jack, do you think that the Kongs are a benevolent or malevolent force on Kongo Island? We've had this discussion quite a bit, and I'm firmly on the side. Well, let's see what you have to say before I paint it.
So I'm just jumping in here with these like last two levels, so I don't really know if we are fighting escalating generals to get to like some Omega boss, like in Mario, where Bowser's like, "Oh, I stole your princess. Come find me," in one of these 9 castles, and you have to go through all the castles to find her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at the moment, it seems like there's a gorilla and his gorilla sidekick just running around an island destroying things.
That's pretty much correct.
That's the long and short of it. Yeah. Donkey Kong wakes up one morning and busts forth from his home, literally goes out the front door.
He explodes out of his front door.
And if you go left, you find Donkey Kong's banana horde, and it's completely gone. And he's like, "Whoa!" And then he just starts rampaging.
He just goes into berserker mode.
He really does across the island.
Sorry, I know we're talking about Donkey Kong, but I just imagine the Kool-Aid Man in this scenario, and that's a game I also really want to play.
They share a lot of traits.
No, it doesn't exist.
In your head.
It.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, pretty much. He goes bam, and then he's like, comes down. He's like, "Where's my Kool-Aid?"
Oh yeah! Oh no!
My Kool-Aid horde. I had all those little flavor packets. Those reptiles stole them.
Dirty
Wilford
lizards.
Brimley, what have you done?
For Brimley.
For diabetes medication. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I know. Never mind.
I was making a sugar joke.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
They can't all be winners.
No, mine usually aren't.
Hey, we're Wilford Brimley fans here.
We are. Is he still around?
I think Wilford Brimley's still alive.
I'm pretty sure.
He's like 1,000,000 years old, though.
He was old back when I was watching Matlock in the middle of the day, and
back when he was in the Ewoks Battle for Endor. These Ewoks, get out of my house, Ewoks.
I haven't watched it. I don't think I'm going
to. It's a classic of Western cinema.
Oh, yes, I'm sure.
All right, folks. Well, that's been another wonderful episode of One Stage at a Time.
You love it. We know you do. That's why we do it, for the Wilford Brimley references.
Yeah. He is still alive, by the way.
Yay!
How old is he?
Oh, let me do some quick math. 85.
85. That's a bit younger than I thought.
Me too. I would have guessed close to 100.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for you, Wilford. Yeah. Wilford, come on the show.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts on Donkey Kong Country for the Super Nintendo. Well, on that note, thank you for listening, everybody. We appreciate your views and your listens, and please like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Leave us a rating. Leave us a comment. What are your thoughts on the bee population? Do you like hornets? What do you think about hornets?
Let us know.
Let us know. And yeah, thanks for listening and watching. We'll see you next time.
We'll be back very soon, either in video or audio form, whichever you prefer. Check your feeds and.
OneStageAtAtime.com.
OneStageAtAtime.com for all your needs.
Jack, you crushed the sign off last time. Can you top it?
Probably not. No,
you want to give it a shot anyways?
Yeah. Save and continue.